Thank you for joining us for another episode of AJ and 8. The past couple of weeks have been kind of heavy on us. We've been getting a lot of calls from family, friends, and people that have had inquiries about microgrids, solar, power in general, because of public safety power shutoffs, evacuation type scenarios, storms. I mean, it's just been really heavy hearing a lot of the stories, and energy is definitely, or the lack thereof, has been a big contributor to the challenges that have come into a lot of these families' lives. So our empathy is with them as well as our prayers. But along these lines, I wanted to talk a little bit about, a lot of these people have been asking about wanting to install solar and batteries and solar, and they have different quotes from contractors. And it was really interesting because just this past week, I think they had there was a poll, a survey that was done by Harris Poll, and I think it was LG Chem that also participated and supported this. And they asked consumers, installers, and people, people that have solar, people that don't have solar, are looking at solar, different questions, and there was some interesting things that came about, and I kind of wanted to talk about it and touch on this because there's so many things involved with this. So, one of the things that I saw that was interesting is that there was a kind of a big disparity between those who already had solar and the importance of certain things and those that were looking at solar. And along those lines, people that are looking at solar, they were looking at things as far as, they were looking at, is the company that I'm looking to hire, are they gonna be around in 20 years? And this was something that was very important to them. When we look at the other things as far as warranty structure for, quality, efficiency, installer recommendations and price, when they talked to people that already had solar, they found that it was actually a little different, because those that already had solar said that the warranty wasn't as important to them. And it was interesting because the only thing I can attribute to that is, could it be that these customers that already do have solar, they realize that most solar products are generally highly reliable, and the warranty's importance, starts to diminish as they see, things work. And now, mind you, again, we've all seen, the really bad installations and the really challenging installations in which people are just constantly dealing with headaches, whether it be product headaches or installer headaches, companies going out of business. But all in all, you find that the solar products in general are pretty reliable. So another one that was also a big deal for them was low degradation. So, when we look at this, the degradation over time, we all know that this is a long-term investment. Solar companies cannot just be going and selling, hey, we're going to go ahead and drop your price and do all of these different things. And this truly is a long-term investment for these families, and we have to make sure that we take that into consideration. Consumers can be intimidated by the process of going solar. They're constantly being presented with competing quotes, from companies that are pitching different products, different brands, different financing options, and sometimes even different technologies altogether. And all of them are promising, that their investment can, give an ROI, or their return on their investment, within 5 to 7 years, on their payback period. So it's really interesting that, here these people are doing a long-term investment, and we see that by selling solar now in these COVID times, a lot of the weaknesses in the sales process are starting to come to light. In the past, a lot of these installers were selling on price. They weren't selling on long-term value. And that's definitely something that has to be done now. I mean, you could get a slick salesperson that is in front of you, does the song and dance, and just because you're enamored by the way that the guy is able to sell, you just sign the dotted line. And I see that happen more times than not, right? I mean, the other thing too is, installers are under explaining their warranties, right? The system performance and how important these things are. And families now, because of their ability to actually do research, talk to other people, and get these types of recommendations, they really do need to understand what the warranty says, what the system performance will do, and how this ties in. Now, and then the last thing that we look at is a lot of people are trying to shy away from manufacturers' brands, and they try to say that a brand of solar panel A is now no different than brand of solar panel B, because at the end of the day it's a 20-year warranty, 30-year warranty, blah blah blah. But and I was guilty of that as well. I was guilty of the point where I'm saying, believe in us as the installer, because we're going to make things right. But I think times have changed, where people are investing in these, not just products and solutions, but they're also investing in the strength of the brand itself, right? I mean, if I go and buy a TV from a store, I can go ahead and get a 60-inch TV for $300, but am I willing to spend an extra $200 more on a brand that I am very familiar with and comfortable with? And to some degree, it's everybody's different in how they approach that, but I think that that's the same thing that we need to be doing, is taking that approach in how we do these things. In closing, I want to talk about something that we've been playing with for quite some time, and it was a validation for these proposals. And one of the things that I've spoken about a lot is, when people go ahead and integrate these solutions into their homes, they are looking, they do what most people do. Give me 3 quotes, I'll go ahead and figure out which one is the best. If you're going to go ahead and change the countertops in your home, you are qualified to figure out which of these contractors should install your countertops. When you start dealing with complex, solutions like a microgrid for your home, for your business, there's very few people that have the capabilities to vet these quotes, these installers and whatnot. And quite frankly, they use 2 metrics: Yelp reviews and price. And really, there's not a lot of things in there that can give you any substance about whether or not this is a good solution for you. So I would say take the time, call up other people, call us up. I'm not afraid to give you the ins and outs of it all from an unbiased perspective. So, let us know how we can help you, and good luck. Stay safe during this COVID times and during a lot of these crazy things that's happening with our weather. Hopefully we'll see you again next week for another AJ and A. Aloha.